Welcome everyone to Our Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Yeah, you do. You sound good over here. Oh, this is nice. It's a new day. It's a new doll.
Is that how it goes? Do you think the kid's done singing her thing, talking about us, the little intro? Do you think she's done yet?
I don't know. It's great, though.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm glad that's saved for posterity.
Yes. Yeah. We'll just pretend she's done.
Yeah. Thanks, kid.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Yeah, extraordinary.
Coming to you from the Cedar Stream Studios and Jet City Live Space here in beautiful and historic.
Yeah, downtown, busy downtown.
Busy downtown.
Yeah.
Lots of people. The sun's out,
Humans,
so that's nice.
Canines.
Almost feels like spring.
Yeah, it's real close.
Getting close. Mike, tonight's safe word, and I guess I should say we don't have Jeff with us again. He's not feeling good.
He's here in
He's
spirit.
going through some things, but he is definitely here in spirit. We love you, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey, for everything.
Hope you're feeling better soon.
Yes.
But tonight's safe word, if we're not feeling good, Mike, is dish soap.
All right.
Just yell out dish soap, and we'll stop this here program and check on you. And you folks at home can play along too. Because I saw this, it was really funny. It was somebody posted on Twitter. I'm going to call it Twitter. The poster's name is Liam Neeson, which I thought was funny as fuck. But he posted, even if you found a Sasquatch in the woods behind the Dollar General, washed it with dish soap, and then educated it on nothing but Dukes of Hazzard reruns and corn dog nutrition facts, it still would make a better congressional representative than goddamn Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Thanks, Liam. Appreciate that.
Liam Neeson.
Does the Liam Neeson, does he have the naked gun? Is that a thing?
I feel like I saw
I keep seeing
a trailer for it like today.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It looked corny, so I'm glad to see him being corny.
Nothing like Leslie Nielsen, though.
Oh, yeah, no, he's the king.
He's the king.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's the Bruce Campbell.
He is.
Because Bruce took that kind of thing and then brought it to horror, right? To kind of normalize gore.
That crazy. I feel like the first Evil Dead, though, wasn't trying to be too funny.
No, not at all.
But then they kind of went in that direction because they realized maybe that it was tongue-in-cheek humor.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it felt more free with the script or something.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Because I think that's who they are.
Yeah.
I don't think that was too far of a stretch out of their natural characters.
Yeah. And those are all Sam Raimi joints, right? Yeah.
Who I really like,
Yeah. And then Bubba Hotep.
Yes.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, do you want to jump into some headlines?
Let's do it.
Man, I read this article, and we were kind of talking about this pre-show about grass and planting and, taking out your lawn and putting in something a little bit more, like native plants or clover or something like that.
Something that benefits yourself or the earth
or
in a larger scale.
The nutrients and stuff, and breaks up the crap. Well, multiple studies recently have reported a measurable decline in the nutrient content of fruits, vegetables, and grains over like the last many decades. Like they've been looking at this for like 100 years. They've been looking at this. It has dropped for more than 70 years, according to studies analyzing 43 different food species, which is just nuts to think about. In fact, one said that you would need to eat, I think it was 7 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables to get the nutrients that you would have doing like 3 servings back in the day.
Oh, sure. So it
like
may
in
be
the
half
70s.
its life.
Yeah.
But they look
less.
better, right? Isn't that what we asked for?
I think that's what
right? And maybe they have a different shelf life, whether or not that's better.
Yeah, because they're bred for higher yields, pest
sweetness,
resistance,
right?
sure. Faster growth.
Oh, sure.
All at the expense of nutrient density.
Yeah, geez, yeah. So we just have to eat more. Yeah, I don't know.
Buy more,
I get that. But there's still, heirloom seeds and products, right? You can get. So, but
that aren't.
But that's the thing. It's like, but we have way more food available than ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I would say, I mean, a lot of things. Cancer rates are up.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Microplastics everywhere.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
Eat your fruits and vegetables,
does kind of all point to the same sort of thing where we're trying to create a more luxurious human existence, right, for more and more humans. But the direction that's taking isn't necessarily
the best way to go about it.
So it would seem.
So the nutrient drops have been in protein, calcium, phosphorus, iron, and riboflavin and ascorbic acid.
Which are things derived from soil, not necessarily.
Yes, that the soil
that makes sense.
would come in. So just as an example, riboflavin has dropped its nutritional, density 38% over the past 70 years. I always wondered because there was something that always bragged about having lots of riboflavin. And I'm trying to remember.
It was one of the Centrum ads or something, or A to Z.
Centrum Silver with riboflavin.
And riboflavin. Well, sure. And I could see that because the soils aren't treated the same as they had been up to that point, where it's like smaller farms, less machines, more manure, right, or more organic
fertilizers.
And that kind of thing, But the farms are much larger today than they were 70 years ago. And therefore, how you process
huge
things,
profit needing, right?
To pay off loans.
So monocropping, over fertilization, erosion, pollution. Those are some of the things that are taken,
which are all technique.
Because I remember learning in school that you had to switch up your crops every couple of years because you didn't want to keep planting the same thing.
Or if you have like certain types of peas and beans, they'll nitrogen fix these other nitrogen hungry things. Geez, I don't know. I mean, it's all well within we can have both. I think we can find techniques that feed as many human beings as could ever be, but don't come at such a short-term burn. Right.
And they need to figure out ways, and I don't know what this is. I used to be in logistics a bit, but to get food where it needs to be, right? Because we grow a shit ton of food in certain parts of our country that need to get to, but also in the world as a whole. Because I also read another article that I'm not going to go through too big, but Malaysia is having a problem with their rice crops. Their rice yield is way down, and it's the thought is effects of global warming. The paddies are just not producing, so they're having to import a whole crap ton of rice because that's as their staple. What would that be, like bread or potatoes to us, right?
Probably wheat for us.
Probably wheat, that's true.
Because it's just in everything. Right? You take a little bit, because it's all wheat gluten that's added to everything as a thickener.
I mean, thankfully, they're right down there by, Cambodia, I think, is the biggest, or was it Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, or some of the bigger ones that they import from to bring it in, so...
because I mean, there's, we're working on 8.5 billion human beings, right? Spread out, but we do move a lot of stuff, but we mostly move commodities and cash crops, because you have to find some way to pay for people, human effort, machine effort, giant boats, and then human and machine effort, and then more machines, and then, you know what I mean? It's amazing.
It's
that all these parts work at all. So much so that we can really take it for granted for the most part.
But it's pretty awesome that I can, walk a couple of blocks to a store and grab a banana.
Yeah, or a papaya.
You
know what I mean? There's no papayas in Washington State.
Right?
You know what I mean? It's like, I guess bananas either. Not even.
Yeah, geez. Can't grow them here. Yeah. Oh, man. So people eat a lot more vegetables and fruit. Get your fruit. I thought this was a funny story, Mike. Back in the 80s, it was recently revealed that the CIA was using clairvoyance and psychics to locate objects around the world.
Yeah, remote.
I always think of like the men who stare at ghosts,
Major Ed Danes.
Different.
Yeah, but that's great. I think that was great though. It's really awesome. Enjoyable. But remote viewers to find stuff that's in the sealed up rooms at the Kremlin or whatever.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. I remember they would show up on Art Bell a lot.
Yeah.
And you always make a convincing case for it, right? Okay. But I've never done any deep dives.
Well, the interesting thing, they think that they found the Ark of the Covenant back in like 88 or 89. Forgive me, I don't remember which it is. I might have written it down here. I didn't. But they gave this person, they asked him to locate this thing, but didn't tell him what it was. And this clairvoyant was able to suss it out, find it, and then describe what they found. And they said it was like a box or container that was parts wood, part gold, part silver, had these seraphims on it, just all these things, and kind of described it. And they're like, holy shit, Ark of the Covenant, right? And they said it was in the Middle East, and it was protected. It was down deep somewhere, like in a basement, and it was dark and wet, and it was protected by a force that would just fuck a human up.
Sure.
So, and I was thinking force, there's a bunch of armed guards, but no, a bunch of Nazis down there trying to get it.
Sure. Just like in the movie.
But they didn't know what it was that they were looking for.
So, but the people who sent them on the mission did know. Oh, okay.
They said,
well, then
find
that's
this
something,
object.
right? I mean,
I don't know what they would have told them to, go into your...
Maybe the dimensions of it or whatever, but... Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what criteria you have to give. Was Edgar Casey considered a clairvoyant? Or he was a seer of some kind, right? Because I think he would go into trance states and know things or some kind of thing.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I always everybody talks about it being in I can't remember the Coptic church in Ethiopia or something.
Ethiopia.
And nobody can get in there, like it's off limits or something.
Yeah, I think they'd be mad. They're like, well, come on in.
Just want to get a quick selfie with the Ark of the... Can I just... Can I get in there?
Yeah. That's the rumor, though. It's a great rumor. But then also that it was in Scotland, right? There's a lot of evidence saying it's in Scotland. Is
like the Templars found it or something and brought it.
Which is neat. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's the cool thing about legends. Is,
Yeah. Oh, we make movies about it.
They sure do.
Indiana Jones.
And what's the Tom Hanks ones where he's...
Dan Brown stuff, Da Vinci Code, stuff like that. Yeah,
those were big.
Yeah,
for a minute there.
The cup was actually a womb or something, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
it was Mary Magdalene. Was the baby.
Yeah. Who was the widow's son, kind of thing.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. Sounds very blasphemous to me. Well, speaking of blasphemous, did you see the news about Cory Booker doing his 25-hour Senate, kind of a filibuster thing, right? He held the Senate floor for, I think it was like almost 25 hours, which beat that racist piece of shit, Strom Thurmond.
Who's just, on the bottom 10 worst Americans of all time. Just a horrendously shitty human being who kept getting elevated into positions of power and policy making. It's so weird to me.
Yeah, because he had the record 24 hours railing against civil rights. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, man. Yeah, no, it's nuts. But remember, they never really left. right? The Dixiecrats kind of morphed, right? But that kind of mentality is obvious and terribly powerful, right?
Corey was asked, Senator Booker was asked about how he managed to get, I mean, he's 56 years old, so he's like our age, how he managed to last 24 plus hours without having to use a bathroom. And he said, don't tell his doctor, but he sort of dehydrated himself. So he stopped drinking and eating like 2 days before.
Something that's really unhealthy,
crazy.
but
good
on him. I don't know. That's kind of. I don't know. And his messaging was good, right? And it got millions of people to at least pay attention to what the fuck is happening in the Senate to some degree, minus tiny blurbs and shit. It's like we're going to get the government we ask for, and that we work for, right? It's like, man, there's a dude quoting Goebbels and shit the other day. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's Senator...
Dude, if you don't clean under shit, you get fucking roaches. Right? We got to clean under. You know what I mean? It's like these people don't belong. If he wants to hold those beliefs, God bless, go forth. But does he really earn the right to make policy for the rest of us? Has he earned that right? Does his judgment show that he is the person for that job?
And is at least 50% of the constituents that put him in power share those sentiments and those beliefs?
Well, of those who participated, right? And if he's gerrymandered, then it didn't matter. I don't know what his district looks like, right?
I'm sure it's drawn in such a way that he's probably
it could be, because he was a House member, right?
Was he House or Senate?
I think he's House. What a piece of shit. Insane. But if somebody wants to be insane in their own household, that's their right.
At their own church? Go for it.
That's your right. Right on. But they have to earn the right to make policy for the rest of us. That's not earning that right.
At your rally, Elon, right? You can hold those, but
man, it's nuts.
Fuck.
It is, because life is not a spectator sport, as the kids say, right? And neither is a civilization, a society, a nation, and a government, right? It's like these are not something you just observe, right? These are something that are very alive. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of such, here come the tariffs again. Maybe until he pulls them back again. But he just put a 10% tariff.
Yeah, Wall Street lost $2.5 trillion. Well, the American people lost $2.5 trillion today.
I got to think that
I don't know.
The insiders know that it's coming, because you can make money both directions, right?
The big boys do. And just consolidate power, more importantly.
Exactly.
Because at some point, it's just consolidation of these, entities.
As soon as somebody sells off, you're buying low, and you know it's going to go back up.
Just have to have enough to be able to hold on. So that's part of it. And also, I really think a lot of it is just a type of leverage against individual companies, individuals, oligarchs, etc. Same kind of thing that Putin did, right? He's like, you guys can be corrupt, but you got to pay me for the privilege, right? So same kind of thing. It's just mob boss. At the top of our government, right?
Yeah, and I remember railing against NAFTA in the 90s when it came up.
Because it didn't have any workers' protection. There's a lot it didn't have, right?
And it took good paying union jobs and made it easier for companies to move overseas.
Really helped countries move them overseas. The opposite of penalizing them to do so.
Right, exactly. And I'm a big Buy American guy. I'm always about a little gang of kids on their electric bikes going by. They went that way, Mike. So I just, and people gave me shit because, I thought Clinton was a lot better, not great, but a lot better than Dole. And I forget the other guy who was running against, was a rich guy.
The Texan?
The Texan. A little gnome. Can't think of it. Ross Perot.
Who did pretty well for an independent candidate.
He did very well and probably put Clinton in power.
His whole thing was, more than likely, was against NAFTA. That was his whole shebang, right? And I don't know, he wasn't wrong. All our lumber mills, right? A lot of stuff went away. But I think in a lot of cases it was on its way. We're going to use less and less humans because the machinery, the nuts and bolts of the industry are more and more efficient, and the biggest efficiency is getting rid of manpower. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's not necessarily good, but that's the way it is. Right?
I mean, I'm all for any jobs come back.
Steady
I'm all
jobs,
for steady jobs in America.
But we're not in a society to have an economy.
No.
Right? We're an economy to help our society.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, exactly. And I think about, because the wife and I talk about this all the time. It's like, yeah, it'd be great if manufacturing came back. The problem is your prices on these goods that you're building here in America, they're not going to go back to 1980, 70s
they can't
levels.
Anyway. They can't anyway.
Because you come here, you got to pay the workers.
Yeah.
And we've got things like OSHA protections. And
well, not for long.
Not for long.
And environmental protections, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, and not for long on all that. But even then, a lot of the stuff that not one party or the other, but all the infrastructure stuff, a lot of it got kicked down the line, right? The Build Back Better was going to fix a lot of that, et cetera. That's stuff that private enterprise isn't going to do. So where are they going to squeeze that money out of, right?
Yeah.
I think we know the answer.
Yeah.
But,
so at this point, what it's going to cost you is the companies are just going to probably keep their manufacturing overseas. They might bring some of it back, or they might go to another country that
I think they're just going to have to say they're going to, and then they're going to, maybe make a pledge to throw money at something that they may or may not ever
do.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of companies are probably looking at this.
Yeah, where's all the infrastructure of power plant? We can't do the power plants we need now, right? Let alone transmission systems, et cetera.
Right.
All that infrastructure didn't get repaired because it's been blocked for fucking 50 years.
And then what happens, the hope is that he leaves office at some point, right? And maybe more level-headed people come in and get rid of those tariffs and figure out that this is just taxing the American people.
Sure, and I'm not against tariffs, mind you.
No.
But anything without a plan is probably not going to work out well. Right. That's why humans make plans.
Right.
And that's also how we can tell these people are terribly disingenuous about really wanting to help the American citizens. Is because they don't have a plan. They're tearing everything down, burning it to the ground, harming a bunch of Americans with no plan on the other side. That somehow or another didn't even say the free market line. Just don't even care. There's no plan.
It's going to be interesting to see next month when the jobs reports come out. Right?
No, sure. But I don't know what it's going to take. But it's just bonkers to me. That's how you can tell if somebody's full of shit. If they're like, well, I'm gonna take off your old roofing. Your roof is leaking. We better tear that roof off.
Then what?
Yes. There's another necessary step, bro.
We're not going to do that. We don't do that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just not part of the plan.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's like, I'm going to tear it off fast, violently, and make a huge fucking mess.
Yeah. It'll be all over your yard.
And then...
Good luck. Good luck to you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. And then it's always... because I'm going to do a 20% tariff on this, and then 3 days later it's like, well, we're going to hold off on that.
Sure.
So I know he's trying to use it as a bargaining chip on a lot of things,
I
think he got some concessions
no doubt about it.
from Mexico. And maybe
some
Canada
of which
as well,
was going, and some of which, if it wasn't going, and they did have an ability to put a thumb on some cartel activity and shit, they didn't, then fuck them. Right? Because that's shitty.
That
right?
is shitty.
Because it's awful. But on the other hand, I haven't heard any mention of opening up new treatment facilities, of finding out what kind of treatment. If there's a market for drugs, somebody is selling drugs.
It's going to get to them.
Right? It's like, anywhere. Right? In Saudi Arabia, it's the death penalty.
Right.
There's still people doing it.
You
know what I mean? Because money is so enticing. Where would we ever get the idea that money is worth your life?
Right?
Because it's crammed down our throats all the time. Right? I don't know, dude. It's like we need to get people off of the drugs. Right? Give them an avenue towards something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, right now it's like, it'll end up being incarceration and or just shipped off to Salvador. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I could do a 28-day treatment or ship you off to a terrible place, right?
I mean, I think there's enough good jobs out there for treatment nurses, and I know probably I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked at the how many nursing jobs are out there, how many nursing students are there, but there's definitely space.
And that's where we should be, instead of everybody coding. You know what I mean? It's like, because we know this needs to happen. We know it does. Right? So it's like, I don't know. There's certain carrots you could put into that deal.
And what's cheaper in the long run, too, right? Continuing to fight the war on drugs or to get people treatment, get them off of it. Right? And then go after the really bad actors.
Sure. Because then organized crime is going to sell something. If nobody bought drugs tomorrow, worldwide illegal drugs, obviously, but pharmaceuticals are a different topic altogether. They would sell something.
Yeah.
Right, it's like
well, that's how drugs came into prominence, right? Because once I forget the act, but once alcohol became legal to sell again, they had to find something to.
I think it's called the Woohoo Act.
Woohoo! Time to get drunk. Yeah, they had to switch to something else,
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the answer to all that is, right? There's some far wiser people than myself who have attempted to work through that. But I don't think incarceration is the fix, right? And I think
it does nothing.
Penalties only do what penalties do, right? There's got to be another avenue towards the goal. Right?
Yeah.
But I think that we as a people have not been terribly goal-oriented, right? We're kind of, we're just being too short-sighted, right?
Yeah.
But treatment.
Well, speaking of tariffs, recession pop is back. And I'd never heard this before, but there's a term for a sort of genre of music called recession pop. Is that fun? It's a more recent label that people have been using, since the 2020s to refer to escapist pop bangers from 2009 to 2012. So when they had these recessions, so think of like 2008 or 9, Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA, right? So people wanted to just dance and escape this bad, situation that everybody's in. Nobody's got any money, so let's just go party. Let's go dance. Let's just work it out that way.
Oh, yeah. Is that fire?
Fire coming. It's like a weird... be safe out there, boys.
Yeah.
Jeez. So all the way back to like the 70s, people have been now sort of looking back on it. So it's a overcompensation counterpoint to recession.
Sure,
right?
That's great.
So oil embargo recession, you had songs like Captain and Tennille's Love Will Keep Us Together.
Nice.
The double dip recession, which I think was... early 80s
right
is what
before
they're saying.
Clinton, I think.
Well, earlier than that, Olivia Newton-John's "Let's Get Physical," physical, and then "Call Me" by Blondie.
Oh yeah,
right. Sort of escapist tunes. The Gulf War recession, "Hold On" by Wilson Phillips.
Oh man.
The .com bomb recession, "All for You," Janet Jackson.
Nice.
The Great Recession, we already talked about. Miley Cyrus, but like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga's Just
That
Dance.
seems like a lot of resetting. And how come there's more of an economic disparity now after all of these weird recessions? How would the wealthy have gotten more wealthy?
Well, you can kind of track, what's happening, who's in office.
What a weird side effect.
Yeah. And then finally, the COVID-19 recession. I guess it was Circles by Post Malone and Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. I don't really know most of these songs, but I just thought it was kind of funny. So there's new music by Gaga and Keisha that's coming out that's more danceable.
Is that together or two separate?
No, two separate artists. But yeah, that's the new recession pop. So people are like, they're getting ready for the next recession, so we got to bring out the recession pop.
Plus Reagan brought us like Black Flag, right?
Yes.
So I get to where art is a type of, like a funhouse mirror reflecting, right?
When did because George H.W. got voted out, mostly because the economy wasn't good, and that would have been 90.
That's 88 to 92, right?
88 to 92.
Because he was right after Reagan, right? They had a 12-year run.
Yes, they had 12 years to do shit. But when did the economy start getting bad? Was it under Reagan, or was it just it couldn't sustain itself? I'm trying to remember.
Well, and a bunch of services got cut then too, right? So that's when a lot of people with mental illness, et cetera, kind of got abandoned.
Yeah, a lot of drugs, crack cocaine epidemic.
Yeah, no, that's right. And incarceration, right? Yeah, that's when we super incarcerated, like above board, because it had been below board for quite some time, right? Yeah, bonkers. And there was a lot, just the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't really backed off much since then.
Not really. Jeez.
Weird.
Kittens. Well, less than 2 weeks ago, Mike, there was Signalgate, which I don't remember if we talked about too much. Then the Trump administration had a national security, another scandal. They ended up having a password scandal where I think a lot of passwords.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Was that what it was?
I don't know. I hope not.
Password.
Yeah, my password is password.
Where passwords, email addresses, and phone numbers of top Trump national security officials were easily found online.
Oh,
you could just go online.
Which means somebody did it.
Yeah.
There's no way it didn't get done.
Yeah.
Right? Because, of course, they have... Iran has some kid just doing that all the time, trying to break
all
through.
day long.
Why wouldn't they?
It's probably 12 hours a day.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Why would that's so inexpensive?
Or Russia. Or
all
whoever.
of the above.
Yeah, all the above.
Or some actor who would sell to any of those.
Right.
It could just be some private dude in that weird chunk off of China or whatever, where mass crime is going on. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, just this week, we found Gmail Gate.
Oh, good.
Are we done with the gate? Watergate?
Yeah, not. It's just to make it less real. But it's very real. The least professional. I mean, these are crimes.
These are.
It's a crime to do this.
Yeah, they found out that the Trump administration was using the Gmail app to conduct government business. And that's even less encrypted, less secure than that Signal app that they were using when they showed off all the war plans to the Atlantic
and it's the number one way that people get hacked. Exactly. It's going through somebody's email.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Yeah. Send them a phishing thing. Want to check out my movies? Click here.
That's real, though. She likes me.
Because Matt Gaetz is hitting that all day.
I'm
trying
free boobs.
Free boobs. Yeah, it's just one thing after another. And remember when they
are stealing everything, remember? It's
just nuts. Remember when they made Hillary Clinton testify for for 8 hours or 12 hours straight? Really?
And
I'm not defending her.
Defending the Clintons in general, right? It's
not defending her, but Jesus, man.
And not even in the same realm, dude.
Right.
Yeah, not even in the same universe of corruption, right? But they were there, I don't know. It's like, it's a difficult... that job and the things that happen while someone is in the job, whether it's their decision or otherwise, are so monumental that it's impossible to be unscarred.
Right.
And that's not forgiving any of the purposeful shenanigans.
Right.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, and I know a lot of this usage is just to circumvent the
Records Act.
The Records Act. Yeah.
Which should be that's a 5-alarm fire right there, and getting rid of all the all the attorneys that keep everybody in line. Got rid of them first day. First day.
You guys.
And that also shows that they're disingenuous. They're lying when they're saying they're gonna do everything above board and all this kind of stuff. It's a lie, and that shows that they know they can't be trusted to follow through on their word.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what that means, right? Or they would welcome more and more opposition transparency, right?
Yeah.
It's like, but it's quite the opposite.
Any other person, any other administration, there would have been,
oh fuck, Senate, lost their minds.
Every committee,
bogged the whole thing down. Yeah.
In Congress would be investigating this and holding hearings. Just one of these things.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's one of these things.
It's
nuts.
It's nuts.
It's absolutely nuts.
It's nuts.
Well, speaking of big flaming fireballs, Mike.
Oh, good.
A UK company, and I didn't actually write the damn name down. A UK company claims that their Sunbird rocket that is fusion powered should be ready in about 2 years and should cut interplanetary travel in half. So if it took a human 9 years to get to Pluto, they could cut that in half, which would be sort of fascinating. The company actually thinks that their rockets are going to be used more as tugboats. So if we end up getting a person to Mars,
or even
to
if
Mars,
it's just lobbing material on somewhere,
just getting it to where it needs to go, get back, just keep that.
Do you know what they meant by fusion? Is that the lighting off an atomic bomb behind it, or?
I don't know. I just know that's what the sun uses, right? Or the sun has.
But we don't have fusion reactions. We can't quite get it to work.
I don't know what they're doing.
Atomic explosions, which there have been models for space travel that do that.
So it just creates a giant explosion and you just propel.
Yes, sure does, right? And you're not worried about the radiation shielding's easy, right? And it's so cold up there that the heat's not really a problem.
What about like human? You wouldn't send a human in it then, right?
Yeah, you'd just be shielded.
Yeah,
in one direction forward, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And since there's it's a thing. I know that was a proposed design. I can't think of whatever fusion they're talking about.
Right.
Because there's any kind of, not that I can think of. Because we tried it here, and didn't we just have a reaction that made, because they're plasma-held reactions, right? We just had one on Earth that was like, I don't think it was a minute. I think it was, but for the longest sustained
that lasted,
time.
Yeah. And then, so these things would be, these rockets would be based in space. So you'd have a platform or ISS or whatever, and they would stay there because you wouldn't bring them to Earth and try to launch them every time. It wouldn't make sense. But, it's kind of fascinating, though.
Because, if you could load, I think that's a great idea.
Start colonizing that bitch.
Or something. But, we eventually are going to have to do it, right? Because sooner or later, a rocket is going to hit Earth. Right. There's no way to protect against every single fucking thing. There's just not possible. Right. So if you don't keep all your eggs in one basket, you don't have to. But ain't nobody getting off while we're still the way we are.
No.
Right? We just won't make it. No. Right? That's not a threat. That's a fact.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, because we're too busy.
We're not there yet.
And still chasing each other with sticks. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mr. Punch.
We talked about that last week.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Well, talking about far out, unfortunately we had some celebrity deaths this week. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Dead at 65. I heard pneumonia, but I'm sure it's complications from
his. That was a
lot of throat cancer.
Is that what that was?
Recently. Yeah. I think his last screen appearance was in 2022's sequel to Top Gun, the newest Top Gun movie.
Oh, sure. Which was an unspoken cameo.
Right. Yeah. But it was good to see him.
Yeah. And he'd been around most of my life, right? Since Top Secret, right?
Yeah. Because that was what, 84?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, he's been. We're actually going to do our top 5 tonight, folks, if you go to the bonus round.
I think I know what your number one is.
Top 5 Val Kilmer movies of all time, our favorites. You can get that by going to the members only section of the website, r-down podcast.
And I'm doing Val Kilmer performances, not the movie.
Okay.
Because he's been in some films that weren't good movies,
right?
Especially in these later years.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, he is working.
Yeah.
Right.
He is a very actor.
I think so. Unless he's tricking me, but that's kind of the act.
I always feel like he gives.
Yeah.
He knows. I had some funny ones. You'll just have to wait and see. But I think I went more movie. Probably than role,
performance. Right.
But the ones that I have on there, he's like you said, he gives every role.
Yeah.
So
looking at you, Island of Dr. Moreau. Which I saw in
that
theaters.
Might be on my list.
I think I took my high school girlfriend to go see it. So it was like, how much was it? $16? It was like $20 to get in the door. It's like, man, we got ripped off. It's got Brando and Val Kilmer. It's like, you guys, did you read the script going in? Fuck.
It's a fascinating tale. And they did a documentary on that, too.
Oh, man.
Just on the making of that version of it. And fucking Brando out there in his white, this little mini me and shit. Just...
Yeah. Tell me you're difficult without telling me you're difficult. Man.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Another rest in peace, Mike. And I actually didn't know she played this role, but Patty Maloney, she's a 3'11" actor who played the alien honk on the Sid and Marty Krofft show Far Out Space Nuts.
Oh, sure.
But for our purposes, she played Lumpy in the Star Wars holiday special.
Wow.
And I didn't realize, I figured that was like Cousin Oliver and, the kid that played Cousin Oliver or something. Jason Bateman's first, 80s role or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was a young lady inside that costume, but she played Lumpy, Chewbacca's son, on the holiday special.
Oh man, and what a role it was!
Which you can actually hear our radio parody.
Yes, please.
On the website. Go there now, or to our YouTube channel, or whatever.
Yeah, listen to that and this at the same time.
It's in stereo. It'd be great. And then the Smurfs too. You gotta listen to Smurfs. So she passed away 89 years old.
Wow.
So she had a good long life, just very diminutive actress. So
those are her two major roles.
I think so.
Yeah.
She'd been in some other stuff.
That's not terrible.
Sure, but I'd brag about those.
Oh yeah,
my whole life.
Yeah.
I'd be getting free beers with that shit.
Call me Lumpy.
Oh man. All right. Any other news? Any other articles that popped up for you this week that you can think of?
No,
kind of just the same old bullshit, different day kind of thing.
I'm trying to think of something. Yeah, no, not off the top of my head.
Yeah, no worries. Well, tonight, folks, in our kind of story round, we're going to talk about some bad corporate actors, because I read an article, it was one of those scrolling tile articles where they talk about corporations that did wrong, right? And some of these are corporations that we probably still have products in our house and are utilizing. And this is by no means any kind of complete list. This is just like a list that came
Dutch East
out.
India Company.
Oh man.
And I bet they're back in, Pharaoh's day, 4,200 years ago, there was some shyster piece of shit where everybody was like, man, how come he's still on top?
Right.
This guy's bad at it.
Yeah.
What a turd, he's all orange and weird.
When the sun hits him just right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mike, not that long ago, October 18th, 2019, Johnson & Johnson had to recall 33,000 bottles of baby powder after the FDA discovered traces of asbestos in the product. Yeah. Do you remember this? I do,
yeah. But was that how they got sued for? Was that baby powder?
Baby powder. But they sort of seems like they've known or suspected that, like, over the years, years, people have
I
tested
could see
it.
how those materials could be in the same part of the planet, because I'm sure they just mine that shit, right? And then sift it to whatever.
Yeah, because talc is just a mineral, right? That you pull out of the...
So I could see where...
I don't know. Do you have to do anything to get it to the medicinal... Like do the ball thing.
I would think you would have to once in a while find a sample and test it for, I don't know, glass or something. I don't know, hot peppers.
My balls are all cut up now.
I would think, but I don't because it's not ingested. So I bet the rules are a lot more loose.
That could be
right. Because even toothpaste has to go through tests in case you do consume it. Yes.
Yeah, and it probably says right on the bottle, not for internal use.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah.
It's like, but who's all...
Get some up my butt.
It keeps me fresh for months. Yeah, and I know you can eat diatomaceous earth or whatever, which is kind of in the same thing. No, it's not, because that build of minerals, but it's not. That was a living thing at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, but those lava created hyper glass, right? It's like glass that gets superheated, and right. I think that's what all this is.
They would have to process it somehow. Maybe they have to
break it down.
Break it down into real fine powder.
Or maybe they break it down in the same factory that breaks down asbestos or whatever.
Turn the asbestos off and run the... We need a ton of baby powder.
Yeah, just like the diesel tanker has milk in it the next day.
I think that just this past January, they reached a settlement, $700 million with several states, because a lot of states were suing them and stuff.
Because I assume that affected people's lungs, or did it affect something else?
I don't know. I mean, it had to, because that's what asbestos does. Because you're still breathing it in to some degree. That's kind of what the mesothelioma angle of asbestos is, but I don't know, because how else is it really going to get to your body? Yeah, but then, you're powdering your baby's butt or something with that stuff, and I don't remember if I ever used it on my kids. I'm sure I did, or some...
And does that make it into the bloodstream or whatever? It's like, that seems like it'd be a couple barriers, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what the action they're suing over is. But lung damage could certainly be part of it, right? Or a potential lung damage even.
Yeah, and I think Johnson & Johnson came out in their defense and said that the science that found the asbestos was junk science. And they're just blah blah blah. So,
the tester had the same equipment,
but they just came up with a $700 million settlement, which doesn't seem all that bad for a company that's worth probably $322 billion or something.
They seem really big.
Because they own
a bunch of stuff.
Tons of shit.
Vaseline, baby.
Vaseline. Your favorite, DuPont, has had just a world of fucking things over the years, polluting rivers and
but they avoid liability, or it's a certain cost of doing business.
Yes,
right? And again, but they've also put a lot of chemical engineers to work, right? But did we really need Teflon? At all? Did we? Did we?
Well, it's probably if you ever used a nonstick pan, you probably have some in your.
Well, it's in everywhere now, because they don't. That's one of those forever chemicals, right? The TPFLs or whatever. It's like
you're just never gonna get rid of.
It's just weird, you know what I mean? And if you need it for certain applications, let's say it's needed in artificial heart valves, which I don't know if it is, but let's just say for argument's sake, then use it for that,
right?
You know what I mean? You don't need it in every Tom and Dick and Harry's fucking fry pan, every fucking single thing. Really, it's like. I don't know.
Yeah, especially making stuff that you're going to ingest.
And then every time I've ever seen anybody with one of those pans, and you know the pan I'm talking about, look at the scratch marks on it.
Yeah.
Because they're using metal instruments. You know it.
Yeah.
Every single time. And so I just kind of every time I see that, it's like, man, because they see it too.
How's your Teflon omelet?
Oh, man. Right. I've had the same cast iron pans for a long time, since the bunkhouse. So, Oh, man. And I love them. Those things are great.
Jeez.
Plus, they're great for home defense.
Yes, they actually are. So they had been dumping toxic waste chemicals into the waters of Parkersburg, West Virginia for decades. In 2017, the company settled 3,550 personal injury claims related to that contamination for $671 million.
Yeah, for 3,000 people?
For 3,500 people.
Yeah.
I got to worry about
That ain't
it.
great.
But they got a long history of torts.
Isn't that like $2,000 a piece? What is it? No, maybe that's 20 grand a piece.
No, millions of dollars.
600 million by 3,000 people.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like enough, but I mean, it depends on.
No, not really. What happened, right? But
and I'm sure a lawyer's got half.
Yeah, how come
so.
5 generations or however long it takes those chemicals to fucking go further down the line and kind of dilute more? But I don't know, dude. Yeah. It's short-sighted practices. It's just.
It really
it's
is
dumb.
Yeah.
Right? Because then they're not really a profitable company if they have to do that.
Right.
Right? If they're not, designing things to be able to, from cradle to grave, be dealt with, right? And they have to externally cast it to you to deal with, then that's not a real measure of how profitable a company is. That's a false. That's
really
false.
Is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because externalizing the risks doesn't mean they don't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a big facade. That
somebody's paying it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they'll make $1 million donation to Greenpeace or something. Sure. And then look at us. We're, contributing to society. This one's been in the news because there's a new one coming out. But this was kind of recent too. But the Fire Festival. Do you remember the Fire Festival?
I remember the scandal over in
2017. There was a couple documentaries based on it, but this guy Billy McFarlane, he got a bunch of internet or Instagram models, Hailey Bieber and the Kardashian girls and all these models and stuff to come out and do this promo that they were going to put on this elite music art festival on an island down in the Caribbean somewhere, and there was going to be all these awesome music acts, and it was going to be chef-made food, and you were going to get these luxury tents and everything like that, and it cost a pretty dime,
I bet.
Even to get in, but you also have to get to the place. And when people got down there, it wasn't on an island, it was on land set aside for I forget what it was. It was land that was supposed to be used for emergency housing and stuff, but they got these emergency tents for old FEMA emergency tents, and
smell kind of mildewy.
and the food was bologna sandwiches and shit like that.
Wow.
So this guy got sued, class action, ended up having to do, I think, 7 years in prison.
Wow.
For this.
Because he ripped off rich
6
people.
years in prison, 2 counts of wire fraud, and he was ordered to pay $26 million in restitution, which he is still paying today. Well, guess what? He's doing a Fire Festival 2.
No, he's not.
Which he swears is legit, right? He's got a website up and everything else. Swears he's going to have all these bands, but it's in a month, and nobody knows.
Oh, my God. He should have just done a meme coin.
Yeah.
If you're going to pump and dump, dude, there's way less liability, obviously.
And you're not going to jail again.
No, it's just a pump and dump, dude, or a carpet pull. What do they call them nowadays?
I thought it was pump and dump.
Yeah, fuck, that's kind of what I think it is. Yeah.
Just like the Tua girl got involved with that meme coin, and everybody's like, oh, put their money in. They got out quick, and fuck them. Fuck people. Sucks. And don't be duped like that.
Yeah,
guys.
come on. And if you just have extra money, give it to a charity.
Yes, they can use
it.
it.
If you've got some kind of extra money. Or, you know who else is a charity? Our Town Podcast. We'll put it to work. Yeah, we will. We'll put it to work. We really will.
Yeah. for sure. Absolutely. So, again, they don't know. He's got some of the same people working for him. Ja Rule. Do you know who that is? The rapper guy?
Yeah.
He was involved a little bit in the first one, too. And he didn't get in trouble for anything, but he was like helping to promote it or something. Right. But it fooled me once.
Yeah, that seems silly. That seems silly.
Yeah. Mike, in 2024, Chiquita Brands International, the banana folks, they got in trouble because for years they've been paying right-wing death squads to keep protesters away from Chiquita banana plantations so that they won't interrupt their commerce. So they've been paying
like really bad
right-wing death squads that were helping to shield companies and other wealthy landowners from more left-wing rebels.
Oh, sure.
So for 17 years they've been trying to bring this to justice, and it just finally, I think they agreed to pay $25 million to the families of, I think, 7 or 9 victims of these death squads that got pulled off of buses and stuff and
made examples of,
terrorized them. Yeah,
because I think it's very few people who own these giant plantations.
Right. Yeah.
If people, like you say, it could be companies too, or some mix thereof.
Yeah,
gnarly. Just gnarly.
Yeah, think about that when you go grab your next banana. And I think the avocados kind of have that. If they're not California grown, there's a lot of like cartel involvement in avocado operations, right?
Because they can do the logistics of it, or
I don't know. I just think that it's a money-making thing. And whenever you have a money-making thing, right? The mob comes in.
I can squeezes a piece of it.
Squeezes a piece of it somehow.
Jeez, that's a drag.
Yeah. I'm not a big avocado guy myself.
No, but I can respect an avocado. And plus, they're so fragile for them to make the journey alone. But there's California avocados, right?
California avocados are a real thing. I don't know what the cost difference is. I don't know if there is a cost difference. But the wife really likes them. I make her avocado toast, and I do the whole thing with her eggs and stuff. But so we always have them. But they, have you seen the meme with Samuel L. Jackson? I can't describe it, but avocados, like, they go ripe for like 45 seconds. It's like perfect. It's just like it's too hard. You got 45 seconds, and then it's gone.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, too fragile to be in my world.
Too fragile. I think there's a documentary on Netflix about avocados. I might have to watch it. Yeah.
And that's with commodities, right? Because I bet you could say the same for coffee and different commodities, right? To where, because the land itself could be, geez, that's a nice parcel you got there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
we're gonna
and that's the thing. The more you diminish the rule of law, the more the warlords move in. Right? And I promise you, it's worse.
Yeah. And fun fact, I think avocados are named for indigenous folks down in South America, Central America. It means basically scrotum, nutsack. Because they kind of have that texture and that look, except they're green, which is you might want to head to the doctor. Do you remember the Wells Fargo thing? And I told the wife, she's got a Wells Fargo account. She doesn't really use it anymore.
Where they did a lot of fake. Just fake.
They signed people up for more accounts and credit cards and all kinds of stuff. And then they transferred money to make them active and all that stuff so that they could get bonuses and all that stuff.
That's like double stealing from your company, though.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would say, I don't know. I really don't like the too big to fail idea.
No, I hate that idea. If you fail, you fail.
Yeah, especially, and if it makes such a huge impact, then there's penalties to be paid. Right? It's like if you lied and cheated.
Their jobs. How do
lying? I don't know. It's so weird, dude. But people would steal a piece of pizza and get arrested and fucking locked up. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so weird
for a long ass time.
It's weird. It's like
because they're hungry. They got to feed their family. They steal cheeseburger or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me.
A lot of lovely ladies down here this evening.
Well, they know that we record on
That's right.
Yes.
They're down here
That's right.
to be on camera. So this was revealed on September 8, 2016. They had opened more than 2 million unauthorized deposit and credit card accounts.
That's a lot.
To reach sales targets and other incentives. Thousands of employees had opened accounts without customer consent. They also transferred funds from authorized accounts into unauthorized accounts, which racked up fees and other charges for these unsuspecting customers.
Oh, well, that's even worse. So that's fraud on a bunch of levels. That sucks. And did they pay back Wells Fargo for the money they got in bonuses? Right?
Probably not.
I don't know. That's wacky.
Yeah. And meanwhile, these people are bouncing. These are.
Yeah. Does their credit rating get repaired magically somehow? Right? It's like.
Sucks.
Right? It's like.
So bad.
I don't know. And overall, I think, yes, that rules need to be followed, right?
Yeah.
Or dishonesty is bad.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dishonesty, Equifax on a year later, September 7th, 2017, a third party had gained access to their systems and got the information of 143 million, it's like half of our country, all their information, social security numbers, addresses, mother's maiden names, all that stuff.
What is the remedy to that?
And they knew about it and didn't let anybody know.
But they're still a company.
Yeah. Dates of birth, addresses.
Oh, my God.
And about 209,000 credit card numbers off of people.
I think Social Security is even worse, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Because then you can go open up credit cards and stuff and then just, without anybody knowing. It's just fucking stupid.
Oh, man.
And isn't that like the protection agency? Isn't that where you go to get your credit scores? And
I think they're the people who do credit scores.
The credit scores, so they keep track of all that stuff.
Yeah, but that means they have mass people. I mean, that's if you're going to sell other people's Social Security numbers, why? That's the source to go to.
Yeah, that's where you go.
The Target breach was like a lot of people too. I can't remember how many now, but it might have been 100 million, maybe not, but it's still a lot of people. But that was other information. But maybe you could backtrack through that information to get somebody's Social Security number. But oh man.
Just fucking awful. Speaking of awful, and I'm trying to remember.
But neither. I mean, that one's not the company's fault.
No,
right?
but they didn't let anybody know for quite some time.
Yeah, and evidently the security wasn't robust enough, right?
You would think that they would have the, Fort Knox of
140 million Americans alone, let alone who knows who else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there could be credit cards in Mike's name right now out there somewhere.
Yeah, that's why my credit's so poor.
Buying trips to Hawaii.
They're living, oh my God, they're at the grotto.
What's that number, Mike?
Yeah, oh my God.
Do you remember, 2001, so that was like almost 25 years ago, the Enron scandal, Kenneth Lay and all that. I'm trying to remember exactly what that was. I know they also had a energy thing where somebody secretly taped them and they were trying to artificially create a power crisis in California by shutting down certain power plants and stuff.
Those unnecessary brownouts or whatever.
So that then they could come back and raise prices and costs.
Yeah, well, I think it was a price fixing scheme. But then he also, he personally did some kind of pyramid scheme, I think, as well.
Kind of Ponzi thing.
Yeah, and maybe that's what Enron was, like a puppet company for some stuff. But something like that, because that's why everybody was like, "Oh, he's not," because then he died, right? Or supposedly died in jail, and everybody was like, "Yeah, right." He just floated out of there.
Yeah, he got taken out, so it's just like Epstein, right?
Yeah, because he was already a billionaire or whatever, and had access to all of the rest of it, right? So I don't know,
man. But at the very least, I mean, fuck with people. You shut down the power stations, so people are forced to pay more and surcharges.
And I think think it might have caused a fire as well or something.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Because we haven't improved our infrastructure in 70 years, right?
We haven't done shit with it.
Right? It's
Fuck. Get on it, Ted Cruz. Instead of heading to fucking Cancun, right?
Well, yeah, we have to decide that we want to invest, right?
Yeah.
It's like, they got rid of Build Back Better, and it really was like all the steel had to be from the United States, all the stuff you're hearing about now, and that would have ramped up the need for production. Right? It's like... Yeah. So then all that infrastructure has a reason to get done.
Argued against it.
Yeah.
And then went back to their respective districts and, tooted their horn for saying, look at what we brought to you. After they railed against it and voted against it and all the other stuff.
So dumb.
Yeah. I didn't know about this one. In 2014, Marriott Hotels was fined like $600,000 by the FCC because they were going in and putting in like jammers. So people couldn't use their personal phones as hotspots. Instead, they would have to purchase internet access, Wi-Fi from the hotel.
That's cheap.
You'd go in and you'd be like, oh, my phone, I can't, I guess I gotta, I don't have good enough signal in here.
Their Wi-Fi.
Marriott claims that they were doing it only in their conference centers, which actually wasn't true. But I think they ended up. They got fined $600,000, but the Marriott, it would cost you like $14.95 a day to purchase their internet.
And every single room would do it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's just
Can you imagine how much good
really
money
smart.
That is? 200 rooms at $15 a day.
Right. It's just, that pays for
quite a lot. Yeah.
Something for all the,
and it's almost free. I mean, you got some equipment stuff to deal with, but
once it's set up,
you just give it a password, and there you go.
Anyway, then you rent the dirty movies to them.
I mean, what else do you want? I just wanted to get on Pornhub. Or Red Tube. Geez, slow down, everybody.
Okay.
Similar to this, Italy fined Apple company and Samsung because they found out that they were releasing software updates which deliberately slowed down somebody's phone and their technology.
So shitty. I do remember that.
To force them to go buy new. It's like, well, it's not working right. Let me go buy a new phone.
After I did an update.
After I did the update.
Oh,
I already did the update. It's not working.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so they claim it wasn't.
But we need less regulation. You're right. Regulation's the problem.
It's so bad. Regulation. So Apple got fined 10 million euros and Samsung got fined 3 million euros by Italian government. So it's like...
Which doesn't seem like much.
It doesn't.
Is that really going to deter the
How many phones did they sell? Right?
Yeah.
How many service upgrades did they get? Or service extensions? I don't know.
Yeah, how much? I wonder how much profit if a new Apple device sells for, let's just say, $1,000. How much does it cost to make, ship, pay for, blah blah blah? How much profit is on top of that? I wonder.
Yeah. Well, if it's $1,000, you gotta think it's probably costing like under $100 to make. I would think.
Maybe I would say under $5 to make and ship, right? And you're still looking great.
Yeah.
But I don't know that. They are supercomputers, all of them. Yeah. Bonkers.
Yeah, we got our town phone. It's a couple of tin cans, a couple of Campbell soup cans. And some string.
Yeah. Some gold hemp twine.
Depending on how far away you are, we might have to send you a whole bunch of string, but works just fine.
Oh my God.
Back in 2016, you'll remember this, the Panama Papers that nobody fucking talks about anymore.
Nobody talks about it, but it just said it all out loud.
It just said it all out loud. Yeah. So a whistleblower leaked like 11.5 million documents from a Panamanian law firm to a German newspaper. It was 2.6 terabyte a treasure trove of files. Revealed a global network of offshore bank accounts accounts and shell companies used by the world's elite to hide their money in tax havens, so they didn't have to pay taxes on it. And I forget some of the high-profile people, but there was somebody. I think it was the premier of Iceland or something, or had to step down. People, I mean, people lost their jobs and stuff.
And it's just grotesque.
Yeah.
It's so grotesque. It's like, how much does a person need?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because you can't have wealth without all of the protections that your civilization is giving you. Right? Or nor would it mean anything. That wealth is only based upon
Obama made that speech, and everybody gave him a hard time. And I think he kind of worded it wrong, but he's like, "You didn't build this."
Right?
Yeah.
But what do you mean? My bootstraps. It's like, but that's not how it works.
Yeah. Dude, you went to the schools. Yeah. You went to the hospital you were
You're
born
protected
in.
by the rule of law.
Yes.
Right? There's hospitals and fucking roads and clean water and all that other shit that enable all of that to happen, dude. It's and the belief that money means something.
And
Because without that belief, it means nothing, and you're not wealthy.
Right. Yeah. It's been estimated that those tax havens held 10% of the world's GDP.
Oh, man.
10%. It's a lot of cash.
Oh, man.
Well, it's not, because you can't find it. Do you remember this one? And I think there's a recent documentary on this, the Pepsi Harrier jet thing.
Yeah, no, I remember when that, because there's one, not like a vertical takeoff Harrier.
Yes,
man, I didn't know that. Because what was the little mini one? You know what I'm talking about? The mini jet? They had photos of it at Randy's on East Marshall. Remember the old cafe that had a airplane taken down? Yeah, it was the Pepsi jet when I was a kid.
Oh.
But it was like a micro jet. But a Harrier is a real jet.
Yeah, well, this was because Pepsi ran, I think it was the mid-90s that Pepsi ran this commercial and said because they were trying to get young people involved in buying Pepsi, but you could collect Pepsi points and you could turn them in for fun stuff. And the commercial said you can do, I think it was 700,000 Pepsi points would get you this Harrier jet. It was in the commercial. And it showed the Harrier jet coming down, landing vertically and all that shit. Real life jet. So this kid, 21-year-old kid, figured out that you could actually go to somewhere, I don't remember where, but you could actually, for 10 cents, you could buy a Pepsi point for 10 cents. Right? So what he ended up doing was he got loans from a whole bunch of people, and he raised $700,000.
That's awesome.
And he turned it into Pepsi points, which gave him the $7 million.
Sure.
And he went to Pepsi and said, "I want my fucking jet.
I want my jet, dude.
I want my Harrier," and took him to court. Well, the court sided with Pepsi, saying that no reasonable person would have had an expectation that they would have been able to purchase actual military jet.
Well, not with that attitude, young man.
And then Pepsi escaped being held in fraud because they never cashed the check, the $700,000 check. So they sort of escaped.
He didn't get his legs broken.
So didn't get anything. He got the money back to the people, I'm sure. But John Leonard, 21-year-old business student, figured it out, and so then Pepsi had to go back and change the commercial to not 700,000 points or whatever it was, to 7 million points for the Harrier jet. And then they said, haha, just kidding, you can't get the jet.
I think the Brits still use them, if I'm not mistaken.
That is a cool concept. I think America has something similar. Right?
We do, but it crashes a lot. The Osprey. It's really bad.
Is that a Boeing
It's killed
product?
more Marines than any hostile force in like the last 7 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a piece of shit.
Wow. That's the one that has the tilt wings that you can take out. I mean, it's a cool concept.
And I don't want any dead Marines at all.
No. Dead people in general. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that just seems like a difficult thing. But they're cool in like Halo and shit, right? They'd always have,
the jump ships and stuff like that. Cool, or the ones from Star Wars when they.
The real wide body ones.
Like easy targets.
Yeah. At least they're slow. Yeah. The other guys
We're not going to get you there fast or safe, or even there, but
But
make great shot,
oh my
and
God.
you guys won't be able to hit anything on the ground anyways.
Yeah, or when they all jump into the middle of this. I mean, they're literally in a coliseum, and all the Jedi jump into the middle. It's like that seems like the worst possible.
Start on the outside, work your way in. I don't know.
Just give everybody an angle to duck shoot you. It's like, what the fuck?
That's right. Wait, they got the high
strategist.
ground.
Yeah. Yes, we've discussed this.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Mike, in 1999, everybody's favorite Philip Morris attempted to convince the government of the Czech Republic that smoking was highly beneficial to the country, as more people would die earlier as a result, thus letting the government save millions on pensions, hospital, and housing for their elderly citizens.
Which I think in the end is untrue because it also brings mass chronic illness.
It does, yeah.
Terribly expensive.
Yeah.
Including heart disease, number one, right? But then lung issues, et cetera.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous and just predatory. Why would that even be allowable conversation?
Yeah.
That's madness.
I don't know how I mean, we've been talking about how bad cigarettes are for 50 plus fucking years.
Yeah.
70 plus years.
No, and if somebody wants to, that's their right, dude. I don't care, right?
I don't either.
But
Never
to
my
push
thing,
it is
but-
different.
Yeah.
Right? Pushing a known dangerous substance is a dick move.
Right.
Right? It's like... Yeah, because they used to put them into cigarette packs or into GI packs and such.
Right.
It's like, just to get people, because once you're in, right?
And the Joe Camels trying to attract the kids.
Younger, and the argument for flavored nicotines and cigarettes, etc.
Right.
And I think the jury's still out on whether vapes are as dangerous or less dangerous or whatever. But,
Right.
But nicotine's
But it's
the
still
thing
bad
there.
for you.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Yeah. Did you ever see? I think it's Aaron Eckhart.
Thank you for smoking.
Thank you for smoking.
It's so good.
God, didn't they
Or is
slap?
it John Hamm? It's one of the two. They look. I get those two
They're
mixed up.
those chiseled, good look guys. Yeah. Jeez.
But then wasn't John Boehner handing out checks from R.J. Reynolds Nabisco on the floor, or Liggett, one of the big tobacco
He just
companies,
walked around and
handing out checks on the floor of the house.
Yeah.
Flip.
What year was
Openly bribing, maybe late 90s.
that? Yeah, Boehner's been gone for a bit.
Yeah, he was good at his job. He just happened to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Just like Mitch McConnell.
Yes.
Terrible for the rest of us.
Right.
But for his people, fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? Just bad for the vast majority of us.
Oh my God. Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah,
this was the BP
what a
thing,
nightmare.
right? My understanding is that they turned off a bunch of alarms and safety systems because they kept waking up the workers who needed to get sleep so they could wake up and work their next shift and stuff like that, but just took away all these safety protocols, and then the pump under the water blew. Right.
And they had switched out a part or something. Something, yeah.
Yeah. 11 workers killed.
That was awful.
134 million gallons of crude.
We can't even guess how much that is.
Right.
There's not a person listening now, and I know you're all brilliant, and I really appreciate all of you, but that number is huge.
Yeah.
To really get an idea of how much volume that is, I don't know if a human can comprehend it.
Yeah. Is it bigger than a swimming pool, Mike?
Yeah, it's so many thousands of swimming pools.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bigger than a bathtub?
Yeah. And even thinking of 2,000 bathtubs, if a swimming pool is 50,000 gallons, right? That's a lot of swimming pools, bro. That's a lot. It's bonkers. Of something that's supposed to be underneath the crust a little ways, for the most part.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. It's that's one of many reasons we need to come to terms with oil as being our energy source. Right?
Yeah.
It's less and less easy to find,
right,
and it's never easy to deal with.
No.
We've gotten pretty good at finding it and dealing with it,
but on all directions.
Yeah.
The collection of it, the transportation of it, the use of it, the aftermath of it.
There's a lot of costs the whole way along, and because we do have the infrastructure for it, we are getting a lot of BTUs, for the buck or whatever. That's less and less the case because it's harder and more expensive to get to. I don't know. We got to eventually come to terms with it. We should have been for quite some time, but we're not. I do like me a diesel electric engine, though.
Yeah,
is that like a 200-ton generator? Is that what that is?
I don't know.
They're huge.
They're huge. No airplane husk, but it is the airplane transport.
I think I got to bring one back.
Maybe so. Man, so I know Marky Mark was in a movie about it. That's kind of where I've seen it. But there's probably a bunch of documentaries on there.
And a couple of really good South Park episodes.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's just, it's nuts.
Gross.
It's nuts.
Yeah, just
And remember, we would go through that. That's just a few days worth of oil in the United States.
Million gallons,
right? Because we're doing
I don't know what our consumption.
I thought we did 100 million barrels a day or something.
That sounds right.
Yeah, something like that. And a barrel, I think, is 45-gallon barrel, not 55.
Yeah. So that's like a day, and then your commute to work.
Right. Or just a day plus the loss in the systems.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that. And we have come a long ways in utilizing a lot of that in the distillation process, into plastics and medicines and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Still burn 97% of it. Right, after plastic, after everything else. That's still 97% of that gets burned.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
Absolute nuts.
But that's the thing. We have to, it's not the need's fault. It's the system's fault for not meeting the need in a way that's not such a short-sighted burn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, and what I just listened to this thing the other day, like 77% of the, I want to say like 60,000 active wells in the United States are low-yielding wells, like up to 3 barrels a day.
That's it? Fuck.
But they'll do that for 1,000 years.
It's like everybody on this street.
Yeah, it's just, no, it's nothing. But they keep their lease open, all that, and probably just until the machines start to break down.
I would guess they're getting these.
But they're also not pulling the methane out of that. I bet they are.
Yeah.
If not just indefinite, as long as it's working. Right. On our public lands, etc. I don't know.
I drink your milkshake.
I drink your milkshake.
Man, well, speaking of burning oil, Mike, 2015, and I gotta confess, I drive a Volkswagen. I didn't pay for it, but Volkswagen got into trouble
I remember
with
that.
the EPA, and they had to recall 482 diesel passenger cars that were sold in the United States because researchers discovered that a number of the Volkswagen models were actually emitting illegally high levels of poisonous nitrogen oxides, but they contained a software in there that would fake the systems out when they knew they were getting tested.
It was an extensive fraud.
It was
instead of just fixing the fucking thing.
Yes. Found out about 11 million different Volkswagen vehicles contain this software.
It was their whole diesel line.
It was their entire diesel line. They had to pay $25 billion in fines in the United States.
I think they're still the world's largest, or maybe Fiat. One of those two is the world's largest automotive company. I can't remember which.
Fiat is like Chrysler, and Daimler,
up a bunch of other
and
stuff,
all that stuff. I don't know.
And they make each one of them less quality.
Yes.
The minute they purchase it, it gets worse.
Let's keep building cars that nobody fucking wants.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But open fraud. And at what point do we say, well, you can't be trusted to do business here anymore?
Yeah.
Right? Because we don't need a certain brand of automobiles in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And if they're going to say that it's okay to pollute our air, which is their air too in the long run, but you know what I mean, pollute our systems, lie to us, cheat us, it's like at what point can we as a nation say, no, you can't do business here anymore?
Right.
We're not necessarily going to seize your property. right? But we can say you haven't earned the right to do business here, right? You're not a trustworthy partner.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. But does it come into that too big to fail or too big to
monkey with, really? Just agree with them on how big a fine they're willing to pay, and then just let bygones and give them tax breaks next year.
I wonder how
they can write that part off their taxes, right?
And I wonder if they got busted in other parts of the world, because I just know what they, based on this article, what happened in the United States, but I don't know, did the UK or did Germany
the EU
themselves
or something? Because Germany's certainly the largest economy of the EU.
I think so. Yeah.
And I don't know if kind of like in the U.S., if just like we shipped some Boeing down to a non-union state, stuff like that. I don't know if in the EU they have a certain base for workers, right? But I'm sure there's cheaper places to put factories, right?
Right.
Like Airbus kind of is. Well, I don't know if they did that out of cheapness. They did that out of a deal. All these different nations made a deal to make Airbus, right? But I don't know what Volkswagen, where their main plants would be, and if they play that same kind of game. And
that's so shitty.
I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. Do we have a society to have economic benefits, or do we have economic benefits to have a society?
Right.
Right? And I think we need to decide.
Yeah. They also thought that in the research that it probably contributed to, and I don't know how they came up with this number, 59 premature deaths will result from the excess pollution that Volkswagen diesel cars produced. Well, I don't understand is there something in the engine that they would have saved money by not adding? Like, you remember back in the day, it was always that little valve, the PVC valve or what, a PCV valve in your old 80s car or whatever.
Sure.
Which, you had to make sure that was good when you went through emissions. I mean, did they take a part out and then substitute it with this cheap software?
Because we had a different standard maybe or something.
Or did they have to put
I bet it's a different fuel as opposed to a different standard. Maybe our diesel's a little different than in Europe or some kind of thing.
Possibly,
Sort of behaves differently in the fire chamber or whatever, right? Yeah. But beats me. Could they have just changed the stroke of it to increase compression or something to make it burn cleaner or something? Fuck, beats me. I don't know, but they lied about it.
Yeah.
So they could have just taken some lumps,
right?
and said, well, geez, we got to go back to the drawing board. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I was like, Pinto, right? Didn't Pinto decide that it was better just to go ahead with the, because they could pay off 50 deaths.
Yeah. Was that the main controversy of Pinto?
I think
they decided it was A-okay to proceed?
Yeah, is it cheaper just to leave it as is and pay for
that's the cost of doing business?
Get $50 million to...
No, and that's why, they always scream about tort reform, right? Because that's the only place they would get stung, right? Is in an after doom, after worst case scenario lawsuit, right? Yeah, with pools and all sorts. There's all sorts of stuff where weird shit happens to human beings, and they go, well, chances are it won't happen. Yeah, it's like. Yeah. So we'll do it.
It's like, people make fun of it, like, oh, we need tort reform, like the lady that got, $20 million or whatever because she had the coffee in her lap. Well, it turns out she actually had like third-degree burns.
In her crotch
area because the coffee was way too fucking hot. Yeah. Because for some reason, McDonald's decided they needed to crank their coffee up that hot. Right? Yeah. For whatever reason.
So you don't taste it until you're 20 miles down the road.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And I
don't think she got that much money. I don't think she got
the initial was like $53 million or something, but no, I think they cut most of that.
Came back
went
and
away.
Had a judge
and then she still had to pay her law team.
Yeah, right? Paid the law team,
et cetera,
medical bills, skin grafts and shit.
Oh, man, I'd be pissed.
The fucking pain to go through that the whole time just for a cup of goddamn coffee. Yeah. Shitty coffee too, by the way.
Yeah. Not worth that.
Not worth all that.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a drag.
Yeah. I don't know if McDonald's was giving away free coffee and I'd even bother stopping.
I don't know. And I really try not to do drive-thrus.
No.
To me, it's a symptom of just something. It's Wally. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, if I'm not going to get out and go engage in then I'm not going to, I'll go home.
Yeah.
Right? I've got drinks at home. I've got food at home. Right. If I don't want to engage.
I'm guilty of it if I'm far away from home and I'm just like, there's days where I'm just go.
Sure.
It just is like, I'm not going to be home for another couple hours.
Sure.
Just I need something.
Yeah.
And I don't have time to run in. But I'd much rather run into a QFC or something and get something fresh.
Yeah, rotisserie chicken. Because nobody will road rage you if you're fucking eating a whole bird.
Barbecue sauce.
They leave you alone.
That's why I carry baby wipes in the car, Mike. It's like, fuck, I need to get that grease off.
Yeah.
And that shit better not give me third-degree burn. Yeah. I have been better about keeping snacks in the car, though.
Right on.
Just in case.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Because I don't have to go do something stupid.
You got a 3-day bug-out bag in your car? Like an emergency bag?
No, not in the car. Definitely at the house, though. But, I got to make it to the house.
I put like an emergency bag in my old lady's car.
Nice. Water, some snacks.
Water, space age, some basic utility stuff.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea, because sometimes you get stuck in a car, right?
Yeah.
And or it can become a safe place pretty easy.
Right.
Because like at the condo and shit, it's like if an earthquake came, mama, you better hope we make it down to the car. You know what I mean? I'll be surfing it like Escape from L.A.
Oh, man, I forgot about that scene.
So, but if you can get to your car, then you got something.
Yeah.
Like I would never keep a weapon in your car because somebody will steal it.
Yes.
But nobody's stealing a heavy backpack.
Right.
Because it's not supposed to be carried around. It's for secondary.
And you can stick it in the trunk or whatever. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I always have first aid kits in my car just because I'm a contractor and I go out to places and I'm occasionally handling tools or supplies and stuff, and I'll cut a finger or whatever. So, but yeah, not a bad idea. Yeah. All right, well, there's, like I said, this is sort of scratching the surface. These are sort of more recent.
Because with the Triangle Shirt Company fire, where they had locked the doors from the outside to prevent union spokespeople from walking in, and shit like that. It's like, but that led to, I forgot her name. I think somebody Campbell, who then joined the Roosevelt administration as like a proponent for the original Labor Department, stuff like that.
Right.
Who was a lady. So because she was a witness to that. I think she was just in town for something and
saw it go down.
and saw that people died because they were, being treated as machines. Right?
Yeah.
Worse than machines.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Upton Sinclair, right? The jungle and shit like that.
Started the Teddy Roosevelt administration into working against the Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Basically, right? It's like, because it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong, and it stops human progress. Those concentrations of wealth and power are bad for us as a species. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
Right? It's so dumb.
Yeah.
That's how you just get the Spanish Inquisition, basically. You know what I mean?
Which was far too inquisitive.
Yes, and just bad.
Yeah.
Right? The like growth progress, the growth industry was like torture devices. It's like...
Oh my God!
What is it in Princess Bride? The rack where you lose and
where they take days of your life.
Lost,
I'm turning it up to 10. You're going to 10 years off your life or something. Yeah.
Don't do that. That's bad.
Because then you got to go see Miracle Max and get that giant fucking pill. Try to swallow that thing. God.
Miracle Max.
Have fun storming the castle. Mike, sharing is caring. What have you been up to this week, dude?
Well, stuff. But I have listened to a new podcast that I really enjoyed, kind of a sci-fi, post-apocalyptic thing called The Phenomenon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, total of 4 seasons. The first 3 seasons were based on the novel. And so I think they extrapolated it out because there's 3 seasons. But good characters, solid story. A lot of things didn't get resolved, and that's fine.
Okay.
And then they moved on into season 4, which I think is the final season. It's just like a bunch of short stories written by other people based in that universe, and some of the same characters, but just kind of fleshing out different, what were these people doing during these events. So pretty neat, though. Yeah.
So the first 3 seasons follow one main storyline, and then I like the idea. So is every episode of the 4th season a different story?
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
It is neat. Yeah. Like an anthology.
Nice.
And also the first 3 seasons are written by the same guy, same team all the way through.
Yeah.
The 4th season at least is written by a few different authors, but the rest of the production team is the same.
Okay.
So from the producers, director, and sound.
A lot of the same actors, voice actors.
They still, I think so, but a pretty big cast, seems like. So yeah, no, I like it. A couple of moments where there's some dead air, like in their cuts or whatever, but I don't care, right? Just sometimes because I'm dumb and I'll go, wait, did that end suddenly? But it's just a dead air second or whatever. So it's just the edit got delayed or something. I don't know.
We'd never do that on Hot Rod.
No, and I'm not. It's hard work.
It's not.
It's
easy.
a lot of hard work. but it just kind of threw me off a couple times. Right?
But it's called the phenomenon.
The phenomenon. Yeah.
Just any like.
I listen on
Apple
Spotify.
Spotify. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I've been looking for
and I
something.
powered through those 3 seasons pretty nonstop. Cause
How many episodes?
I want to say it's a total of like 21 to 24 episodes.
Total episodes, like an hour long or so.
Give or take. Probably 40 minutes or so. 30 to 40 minutes.
Nice.
It moves well. Each one of them starts with the emergency broadcast system sound effect.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is cool. And then it gives, that's the... how they tell you what's going on in the universe is through that emergency broadcast system.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a clever way to do that. Plus, it really catches your attention immediately. So I thought some of the technical aspects of its production were really nicely done. Storyline's cool.
Okay.
I'd probably read the novel.
Okay.
I didn't immediately.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said it was based on
that. So, but I could see that having. Yeah, it seemed neat. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've been, speaking of post-apocalyptic podcasts, we've been getting a lot of compliments on Hot Rodders.
Ooh.
All the kids that we had a bunch of people in the last couple episodes because the boys went to town and we needed to fill a lot of stuff. But yeah, just thought everybody did a great job. Have you listened to
so I just listened to episode 3.
Oh, 4, I think.
No,
just
I'm
came
just up
out.
to 3. Well, I've got something to look
episode
for.
4.
Yes.
They're still in Guttown.
Yes.
So everybody's very pleased. Everybody did a great job with it. So
Bailey as the vendor was good.
The vendor, yeah. And now we've got let's see, Violet comes back as our main thug, and we're throwing in Stephanie as the neighbor lady that helps Ollie get to the grandma.
Yeah.
We got Kyle as Mr. Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
We had Eli as one of the guards. Man,
nice.
we got a lot of people.
I mean, it's star-studded.
Daniela
It's like an
as the
episode
grandma.
of Fantasy Island up in here.
Yes, it's like a Love Boat episode. Deluxe Fantasy Island Love Boat crossover.
Yes. Oh, so good.
So I'm excited about that. So go take a listen to that.
Yeah.
It's free for you people. Why is it free?
I don't know.
Charging big bucks for
Yes,
this. No, it's free. Go listen to it. It's good.
You're worth it.
Yeah, we love you guys.
But you can always subscribe and or
yes,
you like, subscribe, and Patreon. Throw money at the Patreon.
Throw money at the Patreon, or just be a subscriber on the website. It's
Which
really
is
easy
fine
to do.
too. Yeah, sometimes nobody's mad.
I'm actually, and we'll talk about this more. I'm actually thinking about maybe figuring out a way to create the bonus rounds and stuff like that where we do stuff, and then you could just purchase the single episode.
That's neat.
From the website store if we can.
Jeez,
So
that's really neat.
Yeah, we should try to figure out a way to do that. I don't know how to
That's how
get it where they can download it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll look into it. We'll figure it out.
That's
for you guys. Yeah, because if there's a top 5 that really interests you, then you can just buy that one.
Geez, that's great.
Or subscribe for a month and you listen to them all really quick.
Let's do it over and over and over. Until it just grills.
Oh, man. Yeah, not a lot going on for me this week. I finished the Reacher series, season 3.
Sure.
I liked it. I think it's kind of like the first season was the best, second season was second best, and third season was third best. So I'm hoping they go up in a trajectory. But the one lady Have you seen the second season yet?
I think the first 2 episodes.
Okay. The one main, because he puts his team together, the one lady, Neely, I think her name is.
Who's the other agent?
Yeah. I think she's going to get a spinoff. So she makes a guest appearance on a few episodes this past season.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to get a spinoff series, which will be really nice because I like her. She's a tough person and can kick ass, and she does a little bit of that on this season. So that was pretty good. I'm kind of sorry it's over because I do like the big, manly, kick ass, but intelligently done. And it had the kid from all the John Hughes movies, what's the kid, the nerd kid from Breakfast Club and Weird Science and
Anthony Michael Hall.
It had him. Geez. He was one of the bad guys in this.
Awesome. All right, I'll catch up on that.
Yeah,
Jeez,
catch
that's
up
cool.
on that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to today. The next episode of House of David came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's finally going to confront Goliath in this episode. I think I'm on like episode 7 or something. So
hopefully he breaks in some Bollywood steps.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Geez, next week I'm going to Dan Carlin with Kyle. We got tickets. I think he's doing a discussion at the Paramount, which will be fun. He's my favorite historical podcast guy.
Hardcore history.
And then next week, folks, we got Ray Smalley coming in of the Hayfields, but he's just come out with his own solo album called X-Ray, which I think is pretty good. It's good. It's good stuff.
It is. And it's different than Hayfield.
Yes.
And I like Hayfields.
Yeah. But Hayfields is more garage kind of feel. He's got some electronic stuff. He's got more hard rock driving stuff.
It'll be, it's neat to see where he's going.
It's good to see. So, we'll come and we'll bring him in and we'll discuss what's going on with him and catch up because he's also a big-time star of gong shows.
Yes, he is. And just friend of the show all the way around.
Friend of the show. Great guy.
Guy's been great.
So, look for that next week. And then anything else going on?
We're going to start live streaming from Lucky Liquor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so, the 50.
Got the 50.
Yeah, the 50.
So that'll be YouTube live stream?
That's it, on the YouTube, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a bunch of videos from past performances on there.
That should be available, once they get uploaded.
I checked out a couple of them.
So that's
real fun. So you've been working on that. You've been using your
GoPro,
GoPro,
Me and the sound fella, Geraldo.
Yeah.
He's cool.
To record the shows.
Yeah.
Because, why not?
Why not?
Posterity,
why
right?
Not? Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just like, we need 500 terabits of solid state somewhere just because in 30 years it is all so golden.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean it, let alone.
Could you imagine doing that? If you're a fan of grunge or not.
Yeah, at the OK, dude.
At the OK, just hitting all those from back in the day.
Yeah, let alone off-ramp or even like, dare I say it, rock candy.
Yes, or Comet getting all the old Git stuff and stuff like that. Just
me crawling across the floor of the Comet. Oh, man.
How many times was that?
I got pretty crocked up there a couple times. Oh, man.
Yeah. Jeez. No, that's pretty cool. So go to Lucky Liquor on the
YouTubes.
On the YouTubes. Yeah.
So there's 2 up there right now, which is from that Tuesday show. So it's Disease and Resin Cough, both of which I think are considered grindcore.
Okay.
As an old person, I was reminded of that.
Yeah.
But to me, grindcore would be something slow. Doesn't that sound slow? These guys aren't slow. Yeah. But Disease is Jim, the drummer kid, who's just really good.
Yeah, it's the one you've been talking about.
Yeah, I'm really into it. And the sound, it's not straight from a board or anything. Right. It's like, it's off a GoPro with a media pack. Right? So, but you'll get it. You'll get what I'm talking about.
And they're the 2-piece.
Yeah, they're the 2-piece. And Reznikoff also was a 2-piece.
Yeah.
So similar, and they were together.
He does both.
Yeah, he did drums on both of those. So that was the first 2 opening bands, and then the touring band from New York, which was also a 2-piece with a guitar player, singer, and drummer. And I was like, oh, yeah, that was funny. But it's cool, and I'm glad that something is happening there. So that is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you can't make it down there live, in Tukwila, which isn't too far away.
No, it's not too far.
Just check it out on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And subscribe. They need subscribers.
And does that mean we need to plant trees for the server to make up for the server draw or whatever?
Should be planting trees anyway, but
And now I think AI is the thing that's stealing all the electricity, right?
Yeah. Jeez. All right. Well, I got a couple of Val Kilmer quotes to end the show on something positive. I thought these were kind of fun, and because he passed away recently at 65, and he's a marvelous actor, and I'm sure a really good human being. I'm just assuming, but he once said, "I liked being Doc Holliday. It's fun to be insightful and aristocratic, to stand up for your friend, and to make sacrifices for him. It was fun to be arrogant like he was and have the goods to back it up. He was a very noble character. Although, let's not forget, he did kill a lot of people."
Well,
there's that. And then finally he said, "I saw the horizon. It's out there. And though I may never be able to touch it, it's worth reaching for."
Oh, that's nice.
A brilliant little Val Kilmer quote. So, and I don't think those were written for a movie, so it's probably his own words. So other than that, anything else you got?
No, thank you, Charles.
All right, well, we'll be back on our top 5, our bonus round. So go join, be a member, or go over to Patreon, sign up, check it out. We're doing our top 5 best Val Kilmer movies of all time, or Val Kilmer roles.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Other than that, we'll be back next week. Hopefully Jeff will be back and feeling good, but we'll also have Ray Smalley. So
that'll be great.
It'll be fun. So thanks.
Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, blogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.